Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm at Pinery Provincial Park today. Going to do some paddling on the river and hike some of the trails. I've got a great episode for you, so stick around. So before I get going here, I'm just going to give you a rundown of my boat. This is the Swift Prospector 14 pack boat. Basically, it's just essentially a 14-foot Prospector canoe, but it has the just a single center seat, high back center seat with lumbar support. So that's why I paddle it with the double blade paddle. It makes it a lot faster, a lot easier. I'm always paddling on both sides, so I don't have to switch sides or worry about always paddling on one side. Now in terms of gear that I take with me, I've got my dry bag here, and basically in there I just have a change of clothes. In the event that I dump, I can get to shore and put on some warm dry clothes. Got my camera here for shooting video. That's just my my cheap Panasonic camera, but I like it for video. So most of the nature that you see, birds and wildlife, are shot with that. Got my life jacket, which I will be wearing, of course. A sponge, that's handy for just bailing up any splashes or spills. Over here I've got my safety kit, which is required by law. You have to have that in a canoe. I've got a secondary watertight container, and in there I put my keys and my wallet. Again, if I dump, keys and wallet stay dry. Double bladed paddle with paddle leash attached to the thwart. That way I can just drop my paddle and pick up my camera, and if I drop it overboard, it's attached to the boat. I don't lose it, and I don't end up the creek without a paddle. Got my camera here. I put a mat in, just again, it kind of keeps things a little bit drier and keeps some of the water off my camera. And then up front I've got my backpack, and in my backpack I've just got basically camera accessories. I've got a couple spare lenses. I've got my jacket in there, which I hope I don't need today. Some spare memory cards and a few spare batteries for shooting video. So that's about it. That's the setup. And I love this boat. It only weighs 26 pounds. It's incredibly easy to paddle. And yeah, I just can't say enough good things about the Swift boat. I absolutely love it. So basically I'm approaching this the same way I would any morning birding, whether I'm on land or water. I'm working the sunny side and the leeward side, so we've got a west wind this morning. So the west side is the leeward side, the sunny side. The warm side, it's going to be the side that has the most activity. So I'm just going to paddle along this west shore of the river here and see what I can see. Ringneck ducks are regularly observed at the Pinery during fall migration. This large dark bird is a juvenile bald eagle, one of 3 eagles I saw while paddling the river this day. My plan today basically is I'm going to paddle both sections of the river here in the Pinery. I'm on the north section right now, so I'm going to paddle that. Down and back at a leisurely paddle is about an hour down and an hour back, and then I'm going to cross the road and paddle the south section and hopefully just see some ducks and birds. This is my 3rd week in a row here paddling, and there's been lots of herons, lots of different activities. So it should be a great day. Got beautiful sunny skies and a west wind, so not too much wind on the river. And it's about 8 degrees right now, so nice warm morning to start. It's going up to about 10, and I think it's just going to be an awesome day. You're probably noticing that I don't have Molly with me today. Like I say, this is my 3rd week in a row paddling. The last 2 weeks she hasn't been super settled in the boat, which isn't like her, and I finally figured out what the problem was. The water here in the river is extremely cold, and it radiates through the bottom of the boat. So despite having a mat and whatnot and her life jacket on, she was cold. So I decided to leave her at home today. I just didn't feel comfortable bringing her and making her be cold. So I thought about stacking up a whole pile of blankets and whatnot, Princess and the Pea style, but I just chose to leave her home. Like I say, the last couple of weeks she's been trying to get into my lap, sitting in my lap, and I'm sure it looked adorable and cute and very Kate and Leo-esque from Titanic, but it made it very hard to take pictures and shoot video and to paddle. So she's sitting this one out, but we're gonna have a great day anyway. As I coasted by with the wind, I had great views of this bald eagle. You don't need a canoe or kayak to see great blue herons at the Pinery. These birds are readily observed from many of the trails that overlook the river. After paddling a little further down the river, I once again caught up with that juvenile bald eagle. Having completed my paddle, I was off to the Beach 9 picnic area. Be sure to take peanuts and sunflower seeds when you go, as you can feed the birds here by hand. The Pinery is my favorite place to observe the tufted titmouse. White-breasted nuthatches were among the many songbirds observed. American tree sparrows spend the winter months in our area. Finding this bird is a good indication that fall migration is well underway. Walking through the dune to the lake, I found this flock of tundra swans riding the waves on Lake Huron. Next, I was off to the Heritage Trail, my favorite for locating woodpeckers, and it didn't take long to find this Harry. After hearing rustling in the leaves at my feet, I looked down to see this snake, a good indication of how warm it was. There's tons of oak trees at the Pinery, so it's not uncommon to see red squirrels and other wildlife feeding on acorns. Deeper in the forest along the Heritage Trail, I found these wild turkeys. I hope you enjoyed this episode from Pinery Provincial Park. If so, please subscribe to my channel. And if you know somebody interested in birding in the outdoors you think might like my channel, I'd appreciate it if you shared it with them. Until next time, good birding.